Hello and welcome to the Fire Department's tutorial on Appendix D. For this example, we will be using Appendix D from the Combination Fire Safety and Emergency Action Plan. But overall, all Appendix Ds are the same. There are very minor differences within the IFA interior fire alarm systems for Appendix D. The first section asks for the building information. Here put the address, owner, or person in charge of the building, and other general information. Next, Section 2, you will indicate the Fire Safety Director and the Deputy Fire Safety Directors. If there are additional Deputy Fire Safety Directors, you can add or remove additional text fields. The Fire Safety Director should be consistent throughout your forms, on the BIC and the other appendices. The same person should be listed as the Fire Safety Director throughout your entire plan. Indicate the location of the Certificate of Occupancy. Below, indicate the construction class. This will be found on your Certificate of Occupancy. First, note the class is listed, then the type. The Buildings Department has changed from class to type in 2008, so both are listed in the drop-down. Section 5. First, indicate the staircase designation. Staircases are always lettered. For type, we are looking for staircase type, whether the staircase is a straight stair, return stair, scissor stair, access stair, etc. Next, list the location where the staircase can be found within the building. Directional location is preferred, north, south. Next, list the floors the staircases serve, and any horizontal passageways. A horizontal passageway would be found when a staircase shifts location within a building. It is an enclosed hallway within the building, making one continuous staircase. List the reentry floors, and indicate if there are any fail-safe locks. A fail-safe lock will release a door during an active alarm, providing an additional means of egress. Elevator information. Indicate whether it's for freight or passenger use. Most elevators these days are automatic. A manual elevator requires an elevator operator to raise and lower the elevator. Phase 1 and Phase 2 can be activated by the fire department and grant the firefighters additional control over the elevator cars that are far beyond the controls allocated for everyday use. And, as you can see, if you need additional rows of information, the tables will continue to the next page. The header repeats, so it's not confusing to see what information is being added to which section. The next few sections should be pretty straightforward and do not need explanation. Section 9. First, you would indicate the number of gravity tanks. For capacity, we are looking for the total number of gallons. Say you have 2 gravity tanks, and each gravity tank has a capacity of 5,000 gallons. Here, you would indicate 10,000 gallons. And say, for each gravity tank, 2,000 gallons is set aside for the fire reserve. You would indicate a 4,000 gallon fire reserve. So, 60% of the gravity tank will be used for residential services, domestic water supply, while the other 40% will be solely for fire suppression purposes. Once the water level in the tank drops below a certain height, residents could no longer access that water supply, and it would only be accessible by the fire suppression system. Location of the gravity tank is most likely the roof, since the gravity tank's pressure is dictated by its height above the activated orifice. Suction tanks are a somewhat newer design, and they are commonly found in the lower levels, such as the subbasement or cellar. There is actually a physical pump that will pump the water upward to the activated orifice. Again, suction tanks are different from gravity tanks, which rely on the building height and gravity to do the work of the pump. Pressure tanks are another type of suppression system. A big cylindrical metal or fiberglass tank. There is an air pump that supplies pressure to the tank. This is how you'd get your flow rate. It works very similarly to how a water gun works. Next, indicate the number of fire pumps. Say you have 3 fire pumps. 1 is manual, and 2 are automatic. Be clear when indicating the outputs. For example, say 1 is 750 gallons per minute, GPM, and the other 2 are 500 gallons per minute. 750 gallon per minute would be the manual, and the 2 500s are automatic in this example. Be sure to make the location clear. For example, northeast corner of basement. A special service pump is a pump actually located on the roof itself. It provides pressure due to inadequate pressure from the gravity tank. This is usually if the gravity tank isn't high enough. For example, you need 25 feet from the gravity tank to the roof in order to get sufficient pressure for your suppression system. If your height is inadequate, a special service pump would be necessary to supply the pressure to the top few floors. If you have one, you will check yes, and you will indicate whether it's for a sprinkler system only or the sprinkler and standpipe system. Indicate the gallons per minute. You have to be careful. Special service pumps are sometimes called special service fire pumps in the plans. If the pump's on the roof and supplies pressure to the top few floors, it is most likely a special service pump, and is going to be labeled special service pump. Of course, there are other types of pumps. Booster pumps are for the sprinkler system only. There are also small jockey pumps. When you have these large 750 gallon per minute pumps, they're usually pretty big. You might have a small jockey pump in place to compensate for pressure losses over time due to leakages. The small jockey pumps may be 10 gallons per minute and will snap on and help return the system to the right pressure without firing up these larger pumps. Of course, if there's a big drop in pressure and it surpasses the ability of the jockey pump, that's when these big fire pumps would kick in. This would then trigger the water flow sensor and alarms indicating that part of the suppression system has been activated. Be sure to provide a valid certificate of fitness holder, number, and expiration date. The next few sections do not need explanation. Section 15. If there is a generator, select yes or no. If the answer is no, the information will disappear. Where the information would not be applicable, put NA, not applicable. 15D. Ventilation. Smoke purge, smoke shaft. Smoke purge will be either manual or automatic. Whichever the case, no building personnel will be responsible to activate or shut off the smoke management system. Only the fire department has the authority to make these types of decisions. Are keys required? If you put yes, indicate which keys. The 1620 is the fire department key. A 2642 has less access than a 1620. This key can recall all the elevators and might have other limited capabilities within the fire alarm system. If just a standard key is used to open the windows, indicate other and list the key's locations. For example, all keys are located in the lobby at the fire command station. The rest of Appendix D should be pretty intuitive. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this helps clarify what the fire department is expecting within Appendix D.